guys. So last week we spent the whole entire week, instead of having a reading story, we worked on opinion writing, and we actually accomplished a lot. So we introduced opinion writing. So let's recap that. What's an opinion? Right, an opinion is something that you think. So opinions could be from something really small, like what's your favorite color, all the way up to really kind of big important stuff like what taxes should we pay, okay? And when we do opinion writing, we are giving our opinion to the reader. We're telling them what we think, okay? And something to remember about opinions is there is no right or wrong, okay? An opinion is just what you think. If we wanted to prove something right or wrong, we would be talking about facts, okay? So opinion writing is just telling people what we think. And when we do opinion writing, our purpose, remember we always have an author's purpose, is to persuade. We want to persuade our reader into believing what we believe, thinking the same thing as us, okay? So we also read some really good examples about opinion writing, and they're always going to be in that folder from last week, so you can go back and reread those anytime if you think, I can't remember what this should look like, okay? So we introduced opinion writing. Here's what it is. Here's what we're doing. We learned how to write a really great topic sentence. And remember, our topic sentence is our first sentence, and that's when we tell the reader, hey, this is what we're talking about. This is going to be my entire writing. Here's what it is. Okay, we learned how to write a great sentence of those. We learned about reasons, okay, supporting details that kind of tell why we believe what we believe. This is my opinion because, okay, and remember, we came up with 3 good reasons. And then on Friday, we learned how to write a really good conclusion statement. And remember, conclusion statements are really tough, so we'll practice those more. But we talked about how to write a strong concluding sentence. And we stored all of these on our 5 square. Okay, if you remember, I showed you how to make a 5 square. And the middle box is our introduction, our topic sentence. Box 2, 3, and 4 are our details, our strong details to support our topic. And then box number 5 is our concluding sentence, okay? So hopefully you didn't lose this. It's really important. We're gonna need it for today and probably the rest of the week. All right, so when we talk about writing, it doesn't matter if we're doing nonfiction or opinion or narrative, informational, whatever, we always follow the 5-step writing process. And you can see I already have it on the board behind me, okay? And these 5 steps never change, no matter if you're writing a 100-page book or a 1-paragraph essay, okay? We're always gonna follow these 5 steps. Step number 1 is pre-writing. Now, normally pre-writing goes pretty quickly. You only spend a day, maybe 2 maximum, on that part. But because we're just getting into the introduction of strong writing, we spent way longer on that. We spent almost all of last week on our pre-writing. But that's okay because it helped us build a really strong base, and I want you guys to really understand what we're doing. Step 2, which is what we're gonna do today after this video, is drafting. And drafting is when you take your writing from this pre-write 5 square situation, and then we're gonna write it on a new sheet regularly how we would. And I'm gonna show you that in the next video. So that's our drafting, and that's what we're going to focus on today. Then we move on to revising, and we're gonna talk more about that tomorrow, and we're gonna spend a good amount of time on it. But revising is when we read over and we start looking for mistakes. We kind of think, oh, I don't like how that sounds. You can change things around, put in new words. That's kind of your time to go back and make it what you want it to be, okay? And then we go into editing. We're gonna do our editing this week too. We're actually gonna finish up all of our writing this week. So editing is when you go in and you really pick through it with a fine-tooth comb. You make sure you have all your capital letters, all of your punctuation. Are your words spelled correctly? Do you have the correct tenses? Do all of your sentences make sense, okay? And we'll talk more about editing on that day because it's a really important step. And then the last step is publishing. We wouldn't write something if we didn't want people to read it, right? Yeah, so that's gonna be our publishing step. And that is when we will type it up and then we send it out in the world for people to read. And by people, I mean your teacher. Your teacher will probably read it. So this is what we're going to spend the rest of this week on steps 2 through 5. And then at the end of the week, you are going to have a fabulous opinion piece ready to go.